Today's topic is of prime concern in the area of self-awareness. 7 years of our lives are downloading phase in which we are absorbing all the belief systems and practices. Belief system and value system is the area where you need to spend some time on or you need to work on. You may have formulated oneself, which is you presume that this is myself. Assalamu alaikum. I welcome you to Iram at Life once again. Thank you very much for being here. Iram at Life is a place where we come to examine and explore personal development tools and techniques. The goal is to gather information on self and flourish in every aspect of our life. In our last video, we talked about self-awareness, and this is going to be our second episode on self. Self is a very deep concept, but we'll try to cover its main topics including self-esteem, self-confidence, self-defeating behavior, self-evaluation and such like. Today's topic is of prime concern in the area of self-awareness. Before we understand the difference between shadow self and real self, we got to understand what constitutes self, how self is made, and what are the essential elements which formulate self. And let's get started and see how we define self and what is our concept of self. I'll start with very basic and simple terminology, which is personality, and we all are like using it on our day-to-day basis, and we name and label different people with different personalities. What do you see that how much part of the self is reflected in that personality, our style, our thoughts, the way we carry ourselves? If you look at the psychological standpoint, you'll see that first 7 years of our lives are downloading phase in which we are absorbing all the belief systems and practices which we replicate in our later years. And if we have to figure out that what actually plays role in shaping our personality, we have to understand our belief system and value system. What is belief system? Belief system is that when you are raised in one particular environment and you are basically seeing your parents, your peers, your culture, your society, you are actually borrowing, or maybe you are just imitating the same school of thought or same thought patterns which you take as your own, and then you try to live up to that. If I have to make it simple for you, then maybe if you believe that you matter, your efforts matter, and you have your role to play here in this world, you generally carry the positive life disposition or optimistic life disposition. On the other hand, if you believe that you do not matter, you are looking and waiting for some dependency, or you are looking for some external source to give you the boost in your life. Our belief systems are somehow formulated very early, and they have a huge bearing on ourselves. The way we conduct, the way we behave, the way we think about things, and the way we look at things, it has a huge role to play. Then it comes to value system. And what is value system? Value system is what you believe is important in your life. If you don't feel volunteer work is very important thing to do, automatically your choices, your decision making would not cover volunteer work, or you would not be more empathetic towards other human beings. So yes, our value system and our belief system has to be regularly evaluated. If you want to change some of your behavior, some of your thought pattern, or you are upset over, or maybe you want to get some different result out of your habits, so I think belief system and value system is the area where you need to spend some time on, or you need to work on. You can make list of things in your value system, that what you think you are having as a consistent value, what you think you want to acquire as your value, and how, where are you ranking yourself in those belief and value system. You should evaluate belief system in this regard, that what are the beliefs that are absolutely yours, what are the beliefs you have inherited from your family and culture, and what are the beliefs that you want your mind to absorb for your future self. So in this way it will help you to come out of those beliefs and those practices which are not serving your purpose. Another debate on self, or maybe understanding self, could be genes and your environment, that how much genes play its role in formulating yourself. Obviously, there is no denying the fact that genes are basically affecting our behaviors and affecting our life choices, but then there is a parallel research going on which says that we are not all about our genes. Circumstances and environment actually creates a lot more difference, and we turn out to be entirely different people. It can also be said that people coming from the same household, same parents, and they are absolutely entirely different people. So environment and genes together have an effect on our behaviors, on ourselves. Then we move on to the third part, and which is the final part. And what is that? In once you have understood that you have your belief system, your value system, then you have genes and environment role on yourself, then how do you discriminate the effect of each area? That is your job to do. So I would suggest, this is something that I have to work on. This is something that I need to establish, improve. Then you need to work on these two, belief and value system. The last part, I would suggest that you need to understand this idea that self has got challenges also. I mean, you may have formulated oneself, which is you presume that this is myself, but it may not harmonize within your own being. And what is that? You may say that social comparisons, when we are actually comparing ourselves, if I feel like interested in some music, in some particular profession, but it does not coincide with the values of my parents, values of my society, I might not like to own that particular interest or part of myself. So when it comes to social approval, yes, our self is largely dependent, and largely it gets really disturbed with this social approval thing, that whether we approve, whether my society and my culture approves my choices or not. So if you have more self knowledge, if you have more ability to own your own different dimensions and sides, only then you will be able to live more fully, or maybe you would be able to gather some courage where you can embrace yourself in totality. Thank you very much for watching Iram at Life. Stay posted on Iram at Life. Always rise and shine. Thank you very much.